So we are now on chapter 15 of Taffy House. So unfortunately in chapter 14 I share about how Josephine has passed on and she's left behind her daughter Adele, and she's now 2.5. So in chapter 15, in the beginning of the chapter, they're basically discussing the will, and they can see that she actually has quite a few assets. She's got a few fancy cars that they weren't aware of and a decent amount of finance. So what she has decided to do, obviously she's put aside some finance and assets away for Adele for when she turns a certain age. But with most of it, she's decided to leave to Marlon. Marlon is her brother. And because she just feels as though, but before I forget, basically she's leaving some assets and some finances for Marlon, providing that he actually looks after Adele. And she just feels as though that's going to help him look at life differently. It's going to help him settle down because he spent a lot of his time travelling around. And she knows that her parents are not going to complain because Marlon is like the apple of his parents' eyes. He is the favourite. And Josephine has never understood why. You know, she's never understood why. But how about you been in a situation where one of your siblings has been treated differently as if they are the favourite, and you cannot understand why? You've even maybe questioned it or asked one of your parents and you haven't received an answer or anything. Don't forget to comment on my page, welcome Rosalind Roberts, to like and even share. Don't forget to press the notification buttons so that all the videos that I do come up and running straight to you. Because with me, I remember, because one of my siblings, she was very, very quiet, didn't really have a lot of friends, kept herself to herself. And to me, it looked as though she was my parents' favourite. She was like 5 years older than me. And it didn't really bother me. It didn't really bother me. I just felt like my parents loved us all. I just felt really loved, cherished, well looked after. Didn't have any complaints. But there was a time, I remember, I must have been about 18, 19, I did actually ask my mum, how comes you sort of favour her over us? And I didn't get a response, what have you. And that was it. I didn't sort of like dwell on it or get depressed about it or what have you. But I know for some that actually feel that way, it does affect them in a certain way. They might feel unloved, they might, you know, not be very confident or what have you. And I suggest for people like that to really try and figure out how you can deal with the situation and overcome it in order for not to erode your life or affect your family life if you have a family, for it not to affect your family life or your relationships. Yeah, so it would be good to hear from you and just, you know, hear your comments and see your side of it. And then what I'll do is I'll share with you what happens in Taffy House in a few more weeks' time. But you take care, speak to you soon. Bye bye.